So, okay, for this part, I have to introduce you a bit of resources that the Roll22 has, which the very first you can see here on the left corner, which students will be able to use the cameras to communicate inside the game. But concerning we might have some big concerns about ethical usage and safe usage of ICT tools. So what you can do, you can explicitly, when you create the adventure, you can scroll down here on the settings tab, and as default, you can mute all of them, and you can also transform video and audio not available. As soon as you do this, all the students will lose access to video and microphone, and automatically the game will reset, as you can see here. So I just pause while the game was resetting. You can also make this just like names only, which makes it cleaner and easier to see the templates. Okay. One more interesting aspect of this game is whether reproducing or simulating a physical reality such as a home or fantasy environment as like this floating giant island on the clouds. What is interesting is how are you going to evaluate and assess your students while they are game playing? Well, there is a big discussion on in-game and off-game activities, and essentially, I think mixing both would be the ideal scenario. So, as you can see here in this fantasy world, player characters, which are those angels here fighting in this arena, they are seeking for clues and opportunities to find a specific hidden treasure around this fantasy world here. So I can set here the clues, okay, and like a letter with a specific message, or like a visual, like an image, and they have to find a specific location and discover what is written in this magical book, or perhaps like some sort of key or clue, etc. But you can also design for them activities, like they have to complete sentences. It's up to your own creativity, okay, to fill in, to write short notes, or even to complete conversation and speeches to unravel some secrets. On the other hand, I would also recommend setting everything in a Google Classroom. So combining both the fantasy and virtual simulation tabletop game, which is the in-game assessment with an off-game assessment. In this example here, I just designed it year 7 history Google Classroom class, in which I will set a game called The Age of Vikings. So in this particular material here, I will set all the rules, I will establish all the rubrics as soon as we decide upon the map, the design of the game itself, the activities, the meta language they are required to use, the resources they will be using. And then every single student has to fill in the player's character sheet profile and complete like updating with their daily decision making while they are playing the adventure. So this would be an easier way for me later to keep track on what they have done, what choices they have made during the narrative role play. And this discussion of in-game and off-game, it's also interesting to link with the curriculum descriptors. Essentially, you should link with one of the subject discipline areas you might choose to perform this role play activity. I will also recommend using some of the digital technologies and ICT terms and better language of the curriculum. And at last but not least, the critical and creative thinking components of the curriculum might also be expressed in the off or in-game activities that you'll be designing for your lesson.